again, and welcome to BOS Finance Radio. I'm Emma, connecting from Ottawa, where fall officially begins this Monday. The weather is warming up to that perfect, crisp autumn vibe. Pleasant mornings, sunny afternoons, and just a touch of sweater weather in the air.
And I'm Daniel in Toronto. As the seasons shift, the markets are shifting too. Let's go through what just wrapped up this week.
So, Daniel, let's start with the U.S. What's the big story from Wall Street this week?
Sure thing, Emma. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates by a quarter point, down to 4.75%, and the markets responded enthusiastically. The S&P 500 jumped about 2.4% for the week. The Nasdaq surged 3.1%, and the Dow climbed roughly 1.9%, all hitting record highs.
Wow, so the Nasdaq is really leading the pack. Do you think this is mostly due to tech, or is it broader?
It's a combination. Tech definitely played a big role, but overall investor sentiment was strong across sectors. Plus, nearly $58 billion flowed into U.S. equities this week, the largest inflow in over a year, which really fueled optimism. Still, analysts caution that inflation remains sticky, and valuations are on the higher side.
And at the closing bell on Friday, what were the actual numbers?
The S&P 500 closed up about 1.2% for the week. The Dow Jones ended with 1% gain, and the Nasdaq finished up roughly 2.2%. So a solid week overall with the Nasdaq again in the lead.
Sounds like a strong finish for U.S. markets. How did Canada hold up in comparison?
Canada kept pace. The TSX Composite rose about 2.2% this week and is now up more than 19% year-to-date, actually ahead of the S&P's 13% YTD gain. The Bank of Canada also trimmed its policy rate to 2.5%, a three-year low, which helped investor sentiment.
Interesting. So even with slightly different drivers, Canadian investors are feeling the positive effects too. Do you think this trend is sustainable going into next week?
Most analysts think the markets can maintain momentum short-term, but they're keeping a close eye on inflation data and interest rate expectations. It's definitely a week to watch closely.
All right, Daniel, we've covered the overall market. Now let's get into the stocks themselves. Who's been leading the charge this week?
Let's start with Tesla. It closed at $426 this Friday, up 8% for the week. The gains came from strong vehicle delivery numbers and excitement around their AI initiatives. Analysts are calling it a buy.
8% in a week is impressive. Do you think that's sustainable or more of a short-term reaction?
Mostly short-term momentum, but the long-term growth story is solid, especially with AI and robotics playing a role. Nvidia finished at $176.67, up 2.5%. The AI chip demand and strategic investments helped the stock, and analysts rated a buy.
Interesting, so tech really is driving the Nasdaq's lead this week.
Exactly. Apple closed at $245, up 3.2% thanks to strong early iPhone 17 sales. Analyst sentiment is buy.
Be honest, Daniel. Are you lining up to grab the iPhone 17 yourself?
Not at all, Emma. I'm still rocking my iPhone 15. I bought it just 2 years ago, and it feels brand new. I'll probably keep it another couple of years. Instead of splurging on the 17, I'd rather put that money into Apple stock. And to be fair, Apple's not the only one. There are plenty of good deals out there in the stock market. Anyways, moving ahead, Microsoft ended the week at $517, up 1.9%, with growth in cloud services and AI contributing to the rise. Analysts recommend buy.
How's IonQ doing? We shared that stock last week. It was going wild. What about this week?
This week was even wilder, Emma. IonQ closed at $70.41 on September 19th, up about 5.4% on the day. Over the past week, it's jumped significantly. The past 5 days saw close to a 45% gain. The company also got a boost from analyst activity. Needham raised its price target to $80, others followed. Analyst sentiment is moderate buy, though as always with quantum tech, there's excitement and risk both in the mix.
And what about some of the riskier names? Intel, for example.
Intel closed at $29.58, down 3.3% for the week, facing pressure from competition despite strategic investments. Analyst sentiment is sell. Opendoor finished at $9.57, down 3.9%, amid concerns over the real estate market and interest rate trends. Analysts suggest hold.
So not every big tech or real estate play had a smooth ride this week.
Correct. Moving on, Bank of America ended at 52.25, up 0.2%, reflecting stable banking conditions. Analyst sentiment is hold. Palantir closed at 182.39, up 3% on government contracts and AI projects with a buy rating.
NuScale Power had some big headlines too, right?
Yes, NuScale closed at 46.77, up 22.7% for the week, after positive developments in nuclear energy. Analysts are bullish with a buy rating. Now shifting north to Canada, Canadian Natural Resources finished at 31.58, up 2.2%, supported by strong energy sector trends. Buy rating. Suncor ended at 46.77, up 2.2%, similarly benefiting from favorable energy market conditions. Analysts call it buy. Bank of Montreal closed at $120, up 0.5% with modest gains. Hold rating. Toronto Dominion Bank ended at $82, up 0.3%, also hold. Enbridge finished at 55s, up 1.8%, thanks to positive developments in energy infrastructure. Analyst sentiment is buy.
And I heard Bitmine was making waves too?
Correct. Bitmine saw significant trading interest and a strong week, though fundamentals are speculative. Analysts rate it as speculative buy.
Wow, that's quite a mix. Tech, energy, banks, and a speculative crypto-related play all making headlines. Sounds like investors had a busy week deciding where to place their bets.
Absolutely, Emma. It's a week where diversification and careful stock selection really mattered.
And that's a wrap for this week's episode of BOS Finance Radio. But don't go too far. We've got something very special coming up. An inspiring story we can't wait to share with you, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. We'll be back soon with more stories, updates, and insights from the markets. It's been another busy week here at BOS Finance Radio, and we've loved every moment of sharing it with you. If you picked up something new today, drop us a like. To stay in the loop, hit that subscribe button. And if you know someone who's curious about the markets, pass this along. We're building a community together, and your support really makes the difference. Thanks for spending your time with us, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Au revoir.
See you soon, everyone. Bye. À bientôt.
The information shared on BOS Finance Radio is intended purely for educational and informational purposes. It does not constitute financial or investment advice. Always do your own research. Carefully assess your risk tolerance and consult with a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions.